Case file designation Bleed 001. Primary subject Emily Catherine Rhodes, age 34. Classification Visual Displacement with Progressive Echo Formation, type V. Access level restricted. If you're hearing this without proper clearance, containment has failed. This is my full reconstruction of the Rhodes case, every detail I could retrieve before the system locked me out. You won't find intact recordings. Most have degraded or been flagged with high-level quarantine protocols. What you hear now is all that is left. Addendum, note from analyst, entry 1. This file is reconstructed from case reports and surviving media. Several official sources have gone missing since the event closed. It's unclear whether these deletions were accidental, procedural, or intentional. I've preserved what I could manually. Emily Rhodes, born March 5th, 1989 in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Marketing coordinator. Lived alone at 1247 Maple Grove Lane, a quiet suburban two-story purchased after a divorce in mid-2023. Clean psychological profile, no drug use, no history of paranormal claims. Her first contact with the police came on December 3rd, 2023 at 8:47 a.m. She reported seeing a man standing at the edge of the driveway every morning at exactly 6:13. She described him as barefoot, wearing a thin shirt and dark pants. He never moved, just watched the house. There were no footprints, no evidence, and the Ring camera showed an undisturbed driveway. And yet, Emily insisted she saw him with her own eyes. Every day, same time, same spot. Addendum, note from analyst. This time, 6:13 a.m. will repeat itself throughout this case and others. Not metaphorically, literally. You will hear it again and again and again and again. Sergeant Lisa Martinez responded to the initial complaint. According to her report, she walked the perimeter, found no disturbances, just fresh snow. Emily showed her footage. It was clean. No man, no motion, no distortion. Sergeant Martinez chalked it up to stress, maybe a vivid dream. Emily denied the claim, stated that she was wide awake, making coffee, watching it happen. Martinez filed her report, suggested Emily speak to a doctor if it happens again. For the next 2 days, Emily made no further contact, but the man returned closer each time. On December 6th, Emily called 911 again. This time, she told them the man had reached her front steps. She'd been keeping notes, distances, time, sketches. On day 1, 47 feet from the door. Day 2, 31 feet, then 18, then 6. She installed trail cameras, motion sensors, still no footage, no movement recorded. But her notes were meticulous. The locations matched, the times matched. It wasn't random. All of it was very deliberate. And her sketches showed the same figure. A man barefoot, motionless, but closer in each one of his sketches. Note from analyst. I've reviewed those sketches. They were methodical, cold, too precise to be invented. You don't fake obsession like that, and the detail to them, they look like pictures, not drawings. She has no record of an art degree or professional painting. She stopped going to work, called her sister Jennifer in Omaha. Jennifer later recounted the call, said Emily sounded exhausted, paranoid, but focused. She claimed she could see the man's face now, only she couldn't remember it, as if her mind refused to hold the image. Analyst note seems to be the same prosopagnosia as case report 000, Nurse Patricia Holbrook. After this, she began hearing things, soft knocks, scraping sounds, the sound of her own voice repeating sentences she hadn't said. On December 9th, Emily made a third 911 call. This one was different. She said the man had been inside her house. Officers arrived to find muddy footprints, bare human feet leading from the front door, through the living room, down to the hallway, to her bedroom, and then back. No forced entry, no broken lock. Just tracks, and ones that the officers could see. They matched soil from her backyard. Later that day, as police continued their sweep, Emily received a voicemail. The call came from her own number. Her phone had been in police custody when it happened. The message was short, approximately 12 seconds. A woman's voice, her voice, repeatedly whispering, "Don't let him in, don't let him in, don't let him in," followed by, "He is not supposed to be inside." Audio forensics showed no sign of manipulation. Breathing patterns matched Emily under stress. Audio analysis showed that it was her voice. But she did not remember saying it. She didn't remember recording it. And as stated, the police had custody over her phone. This marked the turning point. Prior to this, she still believed she might be imagining it, but now she, hearing warnings from her version of herself she didn't remember being. We isolated the audio, ran a spectral analysis test. There's something under the whisper, just a low hum, almost rhythmic. Not mechanical, but biological. We still haven't discovered what it is saying or what it is doing, but we at least know something is there. Further research is needed. On December 10th, the department assigned surveillance to our home. Officers were stationed across the street. They watched as she followed her routine. Morning coffee, checking through the curtains, and then waiting. At 6:13 a.m., she stood at the window, pointing to the street. The officers on the scene saw nothing, though. They claimed that the street was completely empty, simply her pointing. But it is to be noted that her door camera did activate at that exact moment. The feed froze at 47 seconds. And in that final frame, Emily stood at the end of the driveway, barefoot, smiling. Beside her stood a man, also barefoot, also smiling. GPS data confirmed that Emily never left the house. Her phone stayed in the living room the entire time. When officers knocked, there was no answer. They forced entry into the home. It was empty, no sign of struggle. Her phone, key, and wallet all untouched. She was gone. Police report not seeing her leave the premises, and the door was still locked upon their entry. Days passed, then the neighbors started talking. A woman was seen in the driveway every morning at 6:13 a.m., same spot where the man once stood. They said she looks like Emily. Same hair, same height, same nightgown, barefoot. She never moved, never waved, just watched the street and smiled. Subject states that they cannot see the person's face, though. They know it is there, but they don't know who it is. I reviewed the doorbell footage myself. Something about the frame, it doesn't hold still. When you look at the man's face, it distorts. Emily's eyes, no matter where you stand, seem to follow you. Shadows in the background fall in multiple directions, and the time code keeps ticking even though the image never moves. She's still there in that one moment, frozen and smiling. This is what we have now begun calling echo formations. Not possessions, not hallucinations, something else. Something that takes your place by making you participate. And once the pattern completes, the subject will become part of the signal. Analyst entry, addendum. I've compared the frames to stills from unrelated bleed events. I think it's recursive, not just a freeze, more like a loop. An image that observes you back. Since I've compiled this case, I've begun noticing irregularities. Footprints in my hallway, calls from my own number at 6:13, but I haven't seen anyone, not yet. I keep telling myself that matters, that if I don't see it, I haven't crossed over. Still, the patterns are there. The numbers, the gaps in memory, the feeling of being watched. I'm recording this now because I don't know how much longer I'll be able to. If you're listening to this, I need you to understand. This thing spreads through repetition, observation, pattern. So if you see them, if you hear from yourself, don't let them in. End log.